This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2022 Autumn Ridge, model number 172FB. So this is not a floor plan video or a sales video or anything like that. I'm just going to point out some of the features on this model trailer and show you how it operates, that sort of thing, okay? So the first thing we see, we're at the door side rear, and you have a power awning with an LED strip. You have outside speakers. You have scissor type stabilizers. That takes a 3/4 inch crank or a 3/4 inch socket on a that attaches to a drill. It comes with both of those, okay? You can probably see them here. This right here is the crank, and then this thing right here is the one that would plug into the your power drill with a battery, that sort of thing. Okay. So you have a manual crank for the tongue jack. You have a 20-pound LP tank and a deep cycle marine battery. Okay. Now, to fill the trailer, the most common way is to use the city water connection, and you'll just hook the hose up to there and you're all set. Now, if you're going to a campground that does not have city water on the campsite, you can actually just use this. You can fill the fresh water tank before you go to the campground, and then use the onboard pump to pump the water. All the plumbing in the trailer will work just if you have city water, but it'll be pumping it from the tank. Okay. This down here is the fresh water tank drain. If you can see it right there. These are your low point drains. You can see them right there. That's the low point of the plumbing. Of course, that is the vent for your furnace. This is the vent for your range hood. So if you want to vent to the outside using your range hood, remember there's a latch here and a latch here, and basically you can open this baffle up like that. You want the baffle open so it flaps freely if you're going to use the fan in the range hood, because you want it to actually vent to the outside. When you're not using this, when you're traveling or in storage, you can just keep it shut like so. But when you're venting, definitely open it. Now your shore cord, your power cord, is 30 amps and 30 feet long, and you also get a reducer to reduce it down to a regular 20 amp plug. Okay, cable and satellite through. Just a coax that goes through to the entertainment area. Now this is your dump area. Now you have your black tank valve here. See the black valve with the large, or the black handle with the large valve? That's for the black water, which is toilet water and waste. On this one you've got the gray one, and it's a smaller 1.5-inch valve. That's for shower and sink water. So basically, because the black water is the dirtiest, you always dump that first, and then you use the gray water to kind of wash it out when you dump it, okay? All right. Also, you can see that this has got a housing there for a backup camera, so this is pre-wired for a backup camera if you want to add one. Also, when we're looking up here, the manufacturer states you should inspect the roof every 90 days, so you want to go up there, have somebody go up there anyway. Be very careful. Check all the sealant, make sure there's no cracking or any way for water to get into the trailer, any cracking, separation, that sort of thing. Also look at the vent cover and the roofing material, make sure it wasn't damaged by any low branches or road debris flying up there or anything like that, okay? If you do see something, have it taken care of immediately. This is your water heater. The controls for it are inside, but I just want to show you, this is where you drain it right here. Takes an 1 1/16 6-point socket, so you got to have one of those, plus a 6-inch extension and either a ratchet or a bar on it to spin it off. So that's where you drain your water heater at. The switches to control it are inside. I'll show you that when we get in there. Okay, so now your water heater is right here, of course. So if you come around to the back of it, you could take this panel off with these two screws and you'll be able to use the valves on the back of the water heater. It's got a the bypass valves for when you winterize, that sort of thing. So that's how you access that. Now, this device here is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. It'll detect carbon monoxide buildup or LP gas leak. If it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, shut everything off, open the door, take everybody outside, and then shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on. And if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you your battery's low. So let's show you here. It's LP gas, carbon monoxide coming up, and then low battery alert. And then back to green. So it should always be green, if not, get it serviced. This device here is your power converter. So this converts AC to DC power. So you start off with regular 110 AC, comes into the trailer, and you have circuit breakers like you'd see at home, right? And then, of course, they're all labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here, and you see you got 12 volt fuses, and they're labeled. So this is 12 volt DC. Now, also it's the battery tender, so if it'll constantly sense how much energy your battery up front has. And if it gets low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs. If it's topped off, it'll just trickle a couple. It only sends as many volts as needed. So, okay, or amps as needed. So that's where that's done. Now, if these blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see it through that perforated plastic, so you'll know. So this is power, converts AC to DC power, plus it keeps your battery charged. Okay. This refrigerator is a 12 volt DC refrigerator, so it runs off of the battery. So when you're towing it down the road, the battery is charged by the alternator on your tow vehicle, and then the energy from the battery it comes to the refrigerator and keeps it going. When you're plugged in, your power converter will be charging the battery, and the battery will be sending the power to this refrigerator to keep it going. So when you go down the road, you run it on 12 volt, obviously, and the battery along with your tow vehicle's alternator keep it going. So it's very simple, on and off, temperature up and down here, and then you have different modes, an energy saving mode, a night mode, that sort of thing. So, but it runs on 12 volt DC. Okay, this is the microwave. Works like any other microwave. This is your range hood that I was telling you about. Now, keep in mind that this is the fan light. So when you're going to run the fan, like I said, make sure you open the baffles on the vent outside, so it vents out to the outside and not just bounces off that baffle and comes back in. So make sure you do that. You've got two burners. They're very simple. You're just going to turn it and light it. You light it by pushing it. You can hear it ticking. So you just go like this, and it lights. That's all. That's just a ambient type light there. I'm sorry. Okay, and make sure you always keep the cover down, the glass cover down when you're traveling, so it doesn't break. This unit has been winterized, so right now there's antifreeze in the system. So in the spring, it's got to be pumped out, and the water heater valves have to be switched back to camping mode. So keep that in mind. This is just the remote for your IRV radio, which is up here. Okay, this is the thermostat for the furnace. It clicks all the way over to the left to shut it off. See, I can turn it on to click it all the way over like this, and that shuts it off. Now the furnace, if you can hear it, is still running. That's because it has to purge itself. As soon as I shut this off, the flame goes off, but it'll still run for a minute or two to finish its cycle. Okay. Lights here, your awning switch, in and out. Never leave the awning out unattended, of course. Always roll it in when you're not going to be there. If you've got water in your water pump, or in your water tank, because you don't have city water, you run it that way, right? That's also used for winterizing. Okay. To light your water heater on gas, like so, light it on electric, or turn on the electric like that. never turn the electric heating element on, or the gas, but the electric heating element, unless you've got water in the tank. You always make sure you have water in there, because if not, it'll burn out very quickly. The element will. So keep that in mind. Now your battery it's not charged because we just plugged it in and we were getting it ready here. So, but it will be. It'll be lit up all the way across. Fresh water is empty. Black water has got a little bit in there. Gray has a little bit more. You can see it goes up in 1/3 increments. So once they get past 2/3, the black and the gray get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping it. So keep that in mind. All right. Your radio, you can stream off a USB right here, so you can take all your albums with you. It has Bluetooth right here, so you can stream from your phone or tablets. It has a AM/FM radio. All right, and this is an HDMI in. So if you ever want to go into the system, you can go using that. Okay. It's got 2 speaker zones. One is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer, so you can turn those on and off independently of each other. All right. Now, if you wanted to put a TV, they've got some hookups here, just so you can see it. The reason that's red up there, that means your signal booster for your digital antenna is on. I can't reach over there without climbing over a bunch of stuff, but there'll be a button right next to the red light. You can shut it off, but you won't get a good signal. It just won't function properly. So obviously you have to turn it on. So you would turn it on so that's lit up like it is. And if you're getting anything over the antenna, it'll just boost the signal. Okay. And there's a backer plate right there for a TV bracket if you want to get like a scissor bracket, which probably would work pretty good in this one, where you can pull it out and tilt it to different positions, that sort of thing. Of course, that's storage there. Okay. Your air conditioner has the controls are right on it. Okay. Thing to know here about your shades. They go up and down, obviously. Now, these will eventually they tend to loosen up over time because you have these tension strings here, the one on each side. So if you're traveling out west somewhere, you don't need to, and it keeps falling down, you don't really need to go to a dealer. Well, all you have to do is take everything, and every screw in here is a number 2 square-headed screw, right? So you would take this off, you would pull the rope through about a 1/2 inch or so, right, and make this tighter. The tighter though these are, the stiffer this is. So if you're having trouble with it falling down, just tighten it up a bit. Tie a new knot in it, like they did, just like a 1/2 inch shorter. Okay. This is just telling us that it's pre-wired for solar. There's also, I'm sure there's a port on the or a marking on the roof to where the solar panel would go there. All right. Let me try not to forget anything here. Okay, so the sink and shower work like any other sink and shower. Always run your fan with the shower to pull the humidity out. The toilet, if you haven't owned an RV before, you can't use it dry. If you look at these pictures, it's pretty self-explanatory. But the flush pedal's right down here. Okay, so when you get to the campground, you hook up your power and your water. Then you're going to come back here with 1 dose of chemical. Whichever brand you use, read the directions, see what 1 dose is. You put it right in the bowl. Then you're going to step here. Water comes swirling out. That's antifreeze you're seeing now. But water will come swirling out, and it'll just go down into the black tank, which is directly below. You stand on it till you put about a gallon or so of water in there. There's no way to tell what a gallon is. You just do it till you get it right, and you sort of know how long it'll take. Some people use more than a gallon, but the bottom line is you have to have chemical and water in the black tank below there before you start using it, or the smell will be overwhelming, and you'll only do it once. Let's put it that way. You only make the mistake once. So it also can get clogged up. So make sure you put water and chemical. If you're going to stay at the campsite for another week, let's say, and you had to dump your black tank, you dump your black tank, then you'd repeat the procedure. Dose of chemical, at least a gallon of water, and you're all set. Okay. Now I can't show you right now because this is winterized, but this defaults. It fills up about this high, right? So when you push on this pedal, if you only push it halfway down, it'll turn on the water valve without opening the trap. So you can fill it as high as you want before you use it. Just so you know, some people for some reason don't get that, or no one explains that to them. So, okay. Alright, so I think that about covers it. There's storage underneath the benches. You can drop this table down onto these cleats here. There's 4 of them. Turn this into a bed if you need to, okay? Okay, so I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. And please remember what I said about inspecting your roof and all the seals on the trailer. Any place you see caulk or sealant from the factory, you're going to inspect that every 90 days. And when you do see an issue, you take care of it immediately. Also, I want to remind you again that it is winterized, so it's set for the winter. And when you do de-winterize it, you have to change the valves on the water heater afterwards. Okay? Thank you very much.